threat is to Israel, explaining the mutual security threats to the United States. The most powerful, I thought, happened at the end, where Prime Minister Netanyahu directly addressed Palestinian President Mahmoud Abbas, saying, tear up your pact with Hamas, make peace with the Jewish state. Of course, referencing the recent pact between Abbas's Fatah party and Hamas, considered a terrorist organization by the U.S. and obviously by Israel, in that it still, Hamas does, calls for the destruction of Israel. Throughout this speech, there were many very powerful lines. Prime Minister Netanyahu saying militant Islam is the greatest threat to the world, saying that the U.S. cannot allow Iran to get a nuclear weapon. This is happening as we get a report from the Associated Press that the IAEA, the International Atomic Energy Agency, has a new report, new information that Iran is moving forward with nuclear arms. So all of this in context, a very powerful delivery that I think hit home numerous, as you saw, both sides of the aisle, numerous standing ovations for Prime Minister Netanyahu.
And Brett, one can't ignore the politics of this all as well. Can you give us some context as to what's at stake for the United States with our relationship with Israel?
Well, there is a sense that the Obama administration had to do some backpedaling after the original speech President Obama gave. The administration says that it was a misunderstood speech, and to his credit, Prime Minister Netanyahu couched his comments about the 1967 borders, saying that President Obama agrees with Israel that the borders will be different than 1967, something that was different in delivery in President Obama's speech last Thursday. So the politics of this, clearly Prime Minister Netanyahu touching a lot of folks back here in the U.S. who believe and truly know that Israel is threatened constantly, and his powerful description of how a missile could land within 1 minute after you hear the siren 50 seconds later, and then saying, would you all live like that? And he said, we won't either. So I think it increased the sense that the U.S. and Israel have this strong, unending bond, despite the dust-up over the last week with the Obama administration in that first speech.
Interesting to see some more of the comments coming, Brett, as this speech is digested among so many. Thank you so much for your first reaction.